myths about stocks and crypto, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're doing common myths about stocks and crypto, man. Tap in. I'm gonna put the link right here somewhere, man. So go ahead and click that.
What's up, Full Circle? It's your boy Flash. You see what we doing today, man? We coming at you with another live stream. Got official go getter right here to the right, setting everything up, making sure everything's up to par before we get started, man. Everybody drop something in the comment section, man. Let us know how you're doing today, how you feeling today.
You got the Western card on, huh? Because when it be having the Western card on,
What?
yeah, when it go sideways.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, Twitch, y'all need to fix y'all platform, man.
Twitch, fix the platform, Twitch, man. We at y'all neck with it, man. Come, you know you got to get shit together when it ain't going. We there with it? Yep, it is backwards though. It's all good. Yeah, right.
Whatever, man. The good Wednesday.
Yeah, man. How you feeling today?
Feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Excited about this Q&A, man.
Likewise for sure, man. Had a nice cool day. It was 89 yesterday. Where was you at? 89.
Oh, I was out hooping, being LeBron James, man. I was.
Bro said he Kyrie. Come on,
Russell.
Russell.
LeBron,
Yeah.
Kyrie,
All them.
in one.
Come on, man.
Almost had me a bang out yesterday.
Real talk, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah. I was at work, man, getting, you know what I'm saying, laying low, vibing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Progress, man. Getting 1% better every day, you know, so just ensuring that this is what, yeah. Talk that talk. Walk that walk, cause come on.
Alright, bro, I'm about to give you the first comment myth. Let me post this on my Instagram and that'd be good, bro.
You know how we getting down.
Live
You know what it is too, Full Circle. You
Live
see me in there?
now.
Yeah, man.
We are live again right now. We're talking about common myths about stocks and crypto, man. Click the link right here. Join up.
I got my Kanye shirt on today, man. That's how I'm feeling today, man. Yeah, man. I got my Kanye shirt on today, man. That's how I'm feeling today, man. Donda. It's like, nah. It's all vibes.
Alright, bro, I got you with the first question right now, bro.
Let's
You're
get to
not
it.
even ready.
I'm ready. I'm always ready, man. Ready, my middle name.
You ain't even ready. First things first, bro. Here's the first myth about crypto, right? So crypto is only for quick flips.
Nah, that's a myth, man.
Is that a myth?
Let me tell you why. I mean, right now we Mythbusters today. That's the title of this shit, Mythbusters. Yep, hard. Today, we're gonna be talking about myths to crypto, and the first myth is crypto is used for quick flips.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider that necessarily a myth because there's two sides to every coin, right? So yes, there is ways that you can make quick flips in the sense of meme coins, right? Or, you know, creating your own coin and rug pulling, yes. But when it comes to investing and what we're focusing on always, that would be a myth because quick flips, it does something to your mind. You know, it messes up your dopamine when it comes to making money, right? Your structure behind money, it kind of gets tarnished because, let's say, I make a coin and you invested in it, right? You put 1,000 in there, right? Your $1,000 turned to 100K. So now you're asking me, bro, you're gonna make another coin? You know what I'm saying? You're looking for that extra 100,000 somewhere, right? And you already got it. Say you lost it all, right? So you're now back. You're back to your $1,000 first investment.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to find that, right? Yeah. And so quick flips, in a sense, they work, but it's a myth when it comes to investing, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Let me see. Let me check you out.
I like that point, but also, man, this thing is red. I hope we got enough battery on the mic. Long story short, I like the point you were talking about the fact that if you you run it up quickly, you try to look for that again, and next thing you know it, you lose it. You know what I'm saying? You know, real wealth is sustainable. So yeah.
Right. Now I got a myth for you, man. Tell me this myth right here. Is the stock market basically gambling?
Ooh wee. You know, here's how I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna say no, but I'm gonna also say anything can be basically gambling if you don't have a strategy behind it, right? So whether it's crypto, stock market, real estate market, right? Gambling, if you don't have a strategy behind what you are doing and no thesis, then anything could be gambling. I'll put it like that. But when you have a strategy in the market and you got risk parameters and you are following to your rules that you have set in place, right? It no longer becomes gambling, right? So anytime you have a strategy and you stick to it, nah.
Right.
Stock market, trading, crypto, it's only gambling if you make it gambling.
Right.
Right. So this is why we built Full Circle Wealth, so you don't have to be a gambler, right? You can be strategic in the markets. That's a good one.
Real quick question, though, to touch up on that. It has everything to do with mindset, or is it like work ethic? Is it discipline? What is it?
That's actually a good question. I think it has everything to do with mindset, work ethic, discipline. Out of those three, I truly think that it has to do with discipline. I want to say mindset, but even if you do have the mindset for it, your discipline needs to stop you from making those decisions that can hinder you, right? So even though we have mindset of quality investors and we know how to make the right moves as investors, right? We can't teach the discipline of what it takes to actually hold when the market is down 20%, right? So, and the discipline to actually, not sell your profit to go do, to not. I'll use the example that you was just talking about, right? The discipline of running up some money and then not giving it back to the markets, right? So if you make $100,000 quickly, right? The name of the game really is to not give it back as quick as you make it, right? You want to grow it over time, not give it back at all if you can. So, yeah. That was a good point. That was a good touch up. Good question.
Yeah.
Good question, man. All right, bro. So, this is the one I'm gonna. So let me get the mic real quick.
Yep.
So the myth that we have here that I want to bring up and ask you is, I'll wait until the market is safe to invest, right? So a lot of people, they think that they need to wait until the market is safe to invest, whatever that means, right? So break down if that is true or false, or not. Break down the myth behind that.
Yeah. Like, ask one more time, just to make sure I know I'm.
Myth: I'll wait until the market is safe to invest.
Got you, and that is a myth, right? Because same example, I got $1,000, but I'm just holding on to it, and because I'm waiting for the right time for Bitcoin to come back down to 25K, I'll never see it. I'll never invest. You know what I'm saying? Like that would, so it's like that is absolutely a myth due to the fact that nobody waits for you, right? Time does not wait for you. Investments don't wait for you. You need to capitalize and make sure that you're making the right decisions. So when it comes to, you can play it safe, yes, but be in the game, right? You're gonna play it safe on the bench, I could understand you being in the game and you don't want to take the last shot. You let bro take the last shot, but you're in the game, right? Rather than sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, there's no safe time to invest. There's no time you get in, right? And because it takes experience to get familiar and also gain the confidence and the discipline to do everything that you want to do when it comes to investing. So there's no such thing as waiting for the right time. Not in the slightest. You need to get in when you can and dollar cost average in. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Straightforward. It's pretty simple, man. We ain't even gonna overcomplicate anything for you guys today, right? We gonna be the myth busters, right? And that's it,
Yeah, myth busting, man. We myth busting. All right, so my question to you is, this myth is, if a stock or coin is cheap, it's a good deal.
That's a good one. I'm gonna say,
think about the fundamentals.
Yeah, definitely thinking about the fundamentals. I'm gonna say, I'm trying to say, my bad. I'm trying to give you guys a concrete answer, but I'm gonna say no as my first answer. Not because a stock or a coin is cheap does not always mean that it's a good deal, and we'll just keep it as that, right? So fundamentally, stocks and coins, I don't want to say they're cheap for a reason if they are cheap, but you need to be looking at the fundamentals behind the price of the coin and the stock, right? So if a company is cheap and I could buy this company for, let's say, $2 a share, right? That doesn't mean that it's a smart buy because we don't know how good the company is. We don't know what the fundamentals. We don't know if they're actually adding value to the economy, right? For them to actually be growing over time, right? So when you are looking at a cheap coin, right? I'm sure you'll say something about utility when it comes down to a coin, right? Is this coin actually able to be utilized, and is it actually doing something for the economy? And it's the same thing for a company, right? So the whole point when you see something that's cheap, you want to look at it from the standpoint of, can this grow 10 years from now, right? Is this something that can grow over time? Because a lot of things that are cheap doesn't mean that it's going to grow over time. So definitely do your research on cheaper things, right? Because you could definitely find a bang, right? So I would say you could definitely find a great coin or a great stock for cheap, but it comes down with a lot of intensive research and really knowing what you're doing to look at the company fundamentally, looking at their numbers, looking at what they do, adding it up to the economy, and and it takes a lot of research. So, yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch up on that real quick too, because Bitcoin was 50 cents at a point in time, right? And look where we are today, right? Amazon was $1 at a point in time, right? I mean, but generally speaking, right? Like it was cheap, but just like the question is asking, it was cheap, and so it doesn't mean that it's just about the fundamentals, just like you were saying.
Yeah. Definitely matters about the fundamentals, and those were two good points. Because you can look at something cheap and look at the fundamentals and say, oh, this is something that could be big, right? And then looking at something that's cheap, you also want to give it time for it to prove itself, right? So, yeah. Let me see what we got. Okay. Here's the myth. The myth is you missed the boat if you didn't buy early.
Let me see. Missed the boat if I didn't buy early. And is that a myth? Yes, because who knows what the potential upside looks like, right? Nobody knows what tomorrow's market's going to look like. Like today, we're at all-time highs in the stock market for the S&P 500. But yesterday, nobody knew that we were going to hit all-time highs, right? Last year, we hit those all-time highs, right? And we had a dip, huge dip, right? A couple months ago. So nobody knows. The boat is going to be there. Going back to that other question that we had, the boat is going to, you are the boat, right? Like the water's going to see, you see what I'm saying? Like it's going to remain water. It's going to remain it. You are the boat. How far are you willing to go is the question. How far are you willing to travel for this investment to play out just like you wanted to? How far away is your destination? You know what I'm saying? How long are you willing to pilot this boat?
Yeah, for sure. On top of that, knowing that we are at all-time highs, the boat is at the tip right now. It's at the top. So with it being at the top, where personally would you invest? Or where personally would you wait for to get into?
Yeah, got you. Touching up on that, we're at all-time highs right now, right? So with that being said, what goes up must come down, right? And so, and just having that type of mindset, where I would get in is if we go down, we're at like 6,400 and like 50, I think it was last time I looked. What was it? 6466, right? That's where we're at. Honestly, I wouldn't invest personally into the S&P 500 until we hit around those 300 levels, right? Because we're sitting at the top, so there's gonna be support and resistance, right? We're at that we're making new resistance levels, so I need to see it come back into at least like the middle, to where need to see some consolidation right? Or at the top. I don't want to buy it at the top. I want to buy it when it's low. So knowing that the S&P 500 is gonna surpass, 6600, right? Eventually, I want to get in when it's 635, 6250. You know what I'm saying? I want to get in when it's perfect, right? When it makes sense for my thesis. Just like last conversation that we had, it has to make sense to what I'm doing currently. And so, answer the question simply, I need to get in there about 625, right? 6250.
Honestly, that's actually good. That's great, actually. I'm sitting here looking at it right now, and I think that's a great analysis. Getting in there, 625, right, 620, right. Even if we get down to the low 600s, if that even happens, right. But basically, long story short, when it comes down to the boat, right, if we're all the way up here at the top, you want to wait till you get waters level out, right, right. Even if it's a good asset, when the tide is all the way low and we're just flat and boats are just able to cruise, get in as much as you can, honestly, right? Load the boat. Load the boat at that point.
Load the boat.
Is it my question? Yeah? Is it my question or your question? Yeah.
Let me check you out. Well, this is a good one. All debt is bad, so don't invest until you're debt free. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's a myth. I'm gonna say, because all debt is not bad debt, right? So I personally wouldn't take any debt to invest into the stock market, right? I'd take on some good debt to invest into real estate. But if you are in a position and you want to take good debt to get into the market or crypto, that is not a bad risk, right? So we can put it like this, right? So say you wanted to take on some good debt, right? So good debt is anything that just puts money into your pocket, anything that brings you a return over time, right? So if I end up taking out a loan, right, of $1,000, not a loan, but let's say it's just a credit, right? I got a credit card and I got $1,000 worth of credit on this, man, but I need some capital for my investment account or even my trading account, both, right? And I say, okay, I'm going to take this $1,000 and I'm going to put it into Meta, right? Say Meta is $1,000 stock, and Meta grows from, let's say Meta does 30%, right? So if you make 30% off of Meta, that's $300, right? And you're able to take that money and pay the payments back and still have your capital, right? So with Bitcoin trading, stock market, right? So I'm gonna sit here and say, that is definitely a myth. I've seen it done before. It's not something personally that I would do. But if you're somebody who wants to get into buying assets and get into the market, right, leveraging other people's money, such as using credit, not the worst idea, right? Not the worst idea. Just make sure you have a game plan with it. So yeah. Let me know how you feel about that.
I think you broke that down perfectly because there's no flip side or there's no opposite or there's nothing to rebuttal when it comes to that because that what you said is spot on, right? And it just, yeah.
How do you feel? So do you think would you ever take a credit or a loan to invest into crypto or the markets?
That is a great question, and man, I'm willing to take out about $20,000 right now just to invest because, bro, the alt season is coming. You know what I'm saying? And it's everything comes with risks, right? Even when whether you're investing or not, life, getting up and going outside is a risk because of all the things that are going around you. So, yes, to answer that question, I would absolutely take a loan out or a line of credit or whatever money that isn't mine and use it to benefit myself in any capacity. Absolutely, I would only say that if you can endure the waters, if you can stay your boat, right? If you can ride those waves up and down, then absolutely. Me personally, I can ride them waves, right? And yeah, would you?
No, I said I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
I said I wouldn't.
You did, but
no. So my reasoning for the reason why I wouldn't is just because when it comes, it was only for stocks and crypto, right? So I definitely take some credit out or a loan out when it comes down to real estate.
Yeah, you did.
But then also now, when I also said it, I was coming from a standpoint of it definitely matters on what type of credit and loan it is, right? So it definitely matters on how I could utilize it, because I'm not against using other people's money, um, but it just has to make sense.
Right. I do feel that.
Yeah, it just has to make sense. But like when you said 20,000, like I wouldn't take it out for $1,000 credit, right? But if you had $20,000 in credit, I would take that, because I could use 20,000, and I could 20,000 in the markets is different than $1,000 in the market, right? So I'm able to actually benefit from that and not put myself in a position where I gotta take my profits and make sure I pay back, right? I can take my profits, pay back, and still have some more for myself, right? So it definitely comes down to the amount. So 20,000 is definitely justifiable, even 10,000, right? If you, yeah, I'll take a 10,000 loan credit, and I'll use that in the markets, right? But anything less than 10,000, 5,000, yeah, anything less than 10,000, nah.
It's not like really worth it, you know.
It's not really worth
It's
it.
a risk. Yeah, it's not really worth it to me. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking about it, you're right, because just like you were saying, $1,000 line of credit for SoFi, or no, Meta. Just like you were saying, that's $700 stock, right? So I only get one share, right? So, yeah, having money to play with, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely, that was when. So changing my answer is what I'm saying. Absolutely, based off of what he said, because if I don't got no room to play with the money, right? I don't have any room to actually capitalize and ride the wave, then I done got in the water and I might drown. There's a potential that I could lose myself, lose what I, lose what I loaned, lose what I was loaned.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let me ask you this next one, man. Next myth in the markets. Okay, you can get. All right, here's the myth. You can get rich overnight if you pick the right stock or coin.
I don't want to lead anybody in the wrong direction, right? But there's also two sides to that.
I agree.
Because yes, say today we had CPI news, right? Which caused us to have all-time highs. If I would have got option, if I would have made an option call, like last night, banking on, I'm longing, right? Then I would have made money overnight. But that has everything to do with what I'm willing to lose, right? Because yes, you can make money overnight. Yes, you can, with anything, you can absolutely make money overnight, but is it worth it, right? It's about your discipline, it's about your sanity, right? It's about your mindset. Can you endure all of this? Yes, you can make money overnight, but making the right decision, but like when it comes to picking, but is it the right decision for you, right? Is it in this moment in time? Is this something that you can do? Is this something that you can take, right? Can I hear the question one more time just to make sure that I'm answering it the right way?
You can get rich overnight if you pick the right stock or coin.
Yeah. Yes, you can, because I don't. It's kind of tricky, man. We got listeners listening, right? I don't want to, I don't want to steer nobody wrong, but because of how valid that is, we're busting myths today. How valid of a question that is, it kind of shakes me up a bit, because you really can, right? Making the right decision, but it's about what you can take. It's about what, yeah.
And touching up on that, I would say, you can, but that doesn't mean it was based off your own skill.
Right.
So because basically that's what you were just saying. Like, do you have the experience? Are you able to endure? Because getting rich overnight in the stock market, it's mostly luck if you get rich overnight in the stock market, right? That's just the only way we could put it, right? So if you're somebody who's brand new into the markets, you can put some money in there, and next thing you know, you're up a certain amount of money that has given you the ability to make you feel like you've had more than you've ever had. But real wealth is something is sustainable, like I was saying earlier, and it's something that could be built over time. That is built over time. So it's difficult.
Yeah.
Like we're answering it for you, and to really sum it up, yes, you can get rich overnight, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't based off of skill, right?
Right.
To actually have something sustainable and really build wealth, right? That's something you need to actually scale over time. It takes effort. It takes time. But long story short, I mean, yes and no.
Yeah. Right.
You know, because I can sit here and tell you, no, you can't get rich in the market overnight. But then you got people who's getting rich overnight from just random coins. You know what I mean? And that's more so like playing the lotto, right? And you can play the lotto and gamble, like I was talking about earlier, when it comes down to investing, right? But when it comes down to a strategy, typically when you have a strategy, it's something that will build over time, right? It's not something that's just gonna make you rich overnight. And I'll sit here and say this actually, you'll definitely this is the markets is definitely something where you could see dramatic, dramatic change overnight or dramatic results overnight, but sustainability and to actually be able to make consistent money in the markets to say, oh, I'm rich from the markets, or I'm profitable in the markets, that takes more than something overnight, right? So you can definitely see a lot of money overnight, but that don't mean that you could do it over time and time again.
Let me ask you something to build off of that. This is also a myth question, but it has everything to do with what we're talking about now. Do you have to be a pro to make money in the markets?
And you know what? The answer to that is no. Like you don't necessarily need to be a pro to make money in the markets. No, you don't need to. If you want to make money consistently in the markets and actually make money full time off the markets and live off the markets, yes, you need to be a pro, right? But for somebody who wants to make money in the markets, you can take money right now and you can invest it at a good price and you can make money over time, right? You can look at a trade. You can look at the chart right now and take $200 of your own money and buy a few contracts, and you can make $200 tomorrow, right? So you don't need to be a pro to make money in the markets. But if you want sustainability and you want to make money consistently, oh wow, because even with that, you don't necessarily need a pro. Like it depends on how you define pro. But okay. You need to have a lot of experience. So I would say you don't need to have professional experience to the point where you're sitting in there with a company, right? But you need to have a lot of experience to make money in the markets consistently, right? But for your every day-to-day person, you can make money right now if you end up buying. Right now with the markets at an all-time high, I wouldn't really tell you to buy anything right now, but let's just say if you bought SoFi, like the company I be talking about, right? If you bought SoFi, the $20 a share, you put $200 in there, right? That grows to $40 a share. That's easy, right? You double your money at that point. So you don't need to be a pro to make money in the markets, and that's actually the only reason why we're here. That's why we're here, because you don't need to be a pro. Right. So myth busted. I got you. All right, next one here is you only lose money. Oh, you know what? All right, this is a good one, and it's a myth, right? So it's a myth. And I want you to tell me why. You only lose money when you sell. Usually we say this is a truth, but tell me why this might be a myth.
When you sell early.
You only lose money when you sell in general.
Oh.
So you know how we'll say, how actually we'll say, oh, you only lose money when you sell. So you only lose, if S&P is down 20%, you only lose that money if you sell to make it down, to make your profits down 20%. But if you would have held, you didn't necessarily lose any money, right? So break that down. Break down to me why you think that might be a myth.
Because you only lose money when you sell. Because just like I said, if you can't take it, man, then it's a loss in the jump. From the very beginning, it's a loss. Not even when you sell.
Yeah.
If you can't endure the pain of the wave, then it's a loss from the jump. It was a bad investment choice because you sold early, right? So now let's talk about day trading. Just a little bit. It's not necessarily investing as a whole, but it's a way for you to make your money to invest. Long story short, I get in this trade, right? And perfect analysis or whatever the case may be, but it was a rocky start. Market open 6:30, bang, 6:35. I see it's not going in the direction that I had planned for it to go. I'm like, oh hell no, I'm out of here, right? But within that same candle, I'm on a 5-minute time frame. Within that same candle, I see my analysis play out. I lost. And then I'm thinking that I'm gonna get stopped out. You know what I'm saying? My mindset is in the fact that, damn, this is a losing trade, right? But in reality, I never let it finish.
Yeah.
I never let it play out. And so it put me in a position where I have to rethink my entire game plan in the first place, because I'm thinking that I didn't do a good trade, right? But in reality, the trade was perfect. It was my setup, but I sold early. It's a loss, right? There's no capitalization off of the fact that I sold early. I cannot capitalize off of a mishap, right? Like if I lost if I sold early, there's no profit. I lost, even when there is profit, right? Like, say, on the flip side, say I had my play worked in all in my favor, right? But I seen a little bit of consolidation before my TP, my take profit. I mean, yes, I may be up, $20, $30 on the day, but I didn't finish my trade. I didn't let my trade play out. I sold early.
Yeah.
You lost profit. Not necessarily the trade is a loss, but you lost the potential upside, making it harder for you to grow. So, yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's solid.
I think we've asked a lot of questions. Let me ask you. Let me come up with something real quick, because I think we've done about eight out of those.
I think so too. Let me see how much time we have.
Yeah. About 35.
Yeah, about 32.
32.
The mic still on.
Yeah, we blinking, but we got some juice left.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this. Let me see. I want to give you a question that kind of combines all of the things that we've talked about today. Let me see real quick. Let me see. Oh, can you guys see that plane taking off? It just took off in the back. I don't know if you can see it, but that was crazy. That was hard. I hope it got that. That'll be dope in the video. Doesn't really necessarily pertain to these questions necessarily, but just give them a breakdown, right? You got 10K, just like you were saying. You have $10,000 right now, cash. Imagine. Here's 10 bands. What are you doing with it? Where are you going?
Yeah, honestly.
Let me rephrase, because that's kind of open,
Yeah.
You got 10K. What are 3 things you're investing in right now? Either real estate, crypto, stocks, day trading, right? Bonds, gold. What are you investing in? 10K right now. Top 3.
Yeah, top 3. That's a good idea. That's top 3. Honestly, I'm just gonna take 2,500, and I'm gonna put that. That's gonna be my capital for me to trade, right? So I'm gonna grow that myself.
Bang.
That's 2,500. How much does that leave me with?
Seven.
75.
75.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that 75. The next 75 is going into I'm buying. I'm just gonna buy VOO, right? I'm gonna buy me some VOO. Probably like if I got 7, you know what, bro? It's got 75, bro. That's another 25 in VOO. That leaves me with what, 55 or 5?
5.
Yeah, honestly, that 5 is going into like straight up Nvidia and Meta. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go 2,500 my own capital, another 2,500 in VOO or even VTI, right? And then I'm gonna do Nvidia, Meta, right? Cause maybe yeah, Nvidia, Meta, right? Because we're younger, right? And with me being about to be 22, right? I can take a little bit of a more risk on those growth stocks, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to sell myself too short by putting too much into VOO, being too diversified. With that money, Nvidia, Meta, man, that's the future of where we're going. So how about you, man? If you had 10K, what are the 3 places you allocating into? Top 3.
I got you. So, first things first. XRP, I'm taking 3,000. Say if price was $3, right? $3 a coin. I need 1,000 coins XRP, right? So I got 7,000 left. I think I'm gonna go your route as well when it comes to the trading account. I'm gonna put at least 2,000 into the account. That leaves 5,000. 5,000 left. The thing with crypto is that it's a pay to play type of thing, but if you get into the right type of bag, then you'll be set, right? So, my next asset will be Flare. I am going to put $1,000 into Flare. The price of that token is 2 cents. So, that would give me either 20,000 or 200,000 coins, regardless. That well off when it comes to tokens. I am also investing in VOO. That left me 4,000, right? So, I have 4,000 that I can invest in the VOO. VTI, did you just put me on?
Yeah, VTI is like it's like a more growth oriented version of VOO.
Got
so
you.
It's like it's a lot similar to VOO, but the percentages are weighted differently.
Yeah.
In the companies.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. With that being said,
but with you being in but with you being in crypto, I honestly think VOO, like, you're already balanced out, so like your growth would come a lot from your crypto. So if you wanted balance, I'd still go with VOO.
got you.
Because VTI is cool too. You're just all growth.
Yeah. Right.
It don't matter though. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
VTI is still an index. You know.
Yeah.
So honestly, even if you wanted to do VTI, that would be like your whole portfolio would be catered around growth and balance. You know?
Got you.
Growth. Yeah.
Yeah.
You made me think.
Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, then I'm gonna just break it down into both of them. So I'm gonna spend a band in both of those, right? So that will put me at 3,000. I'm gonna put $500 in the VOO and another 500 in the VTI. Bang! I got 3,000 left. Honestly, I'm gonna break that in half. I got 1,500. I'm gonna have that as playroom, right? I'm gonna leave that somewhere between either the brokerage account or the crypto wallet or whatever the case, just so I can have something to funnel back to, right? So I can have something to play with. Exactly, buying power. So that leaves me with another 1,500.
Damn, you still got money left?
Yeah, I got 1,500. Damn, let me see. I think with that 1,500, I might go. No, ain't no might. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna find some AI infrastructure, right? So AI needs something to. There's AI products like NVIDIA, right? They have semiconductors, right? So that's an AI product. I would build like maybe I would invest into something where it comes to energy to power the AI. So yeah, I'm gonna spend that last 1,500 on energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a good, definitely a good play. I was thinking of some energy stocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So now thinking about it, that was a good question actually. You know, it opened up a lot. It opened up a lot. So now I'm trying to think about. I just kind of thought about how we could like make a breakdown video somehow of. Like I could come up with some AI infrastructure companies for stocks, and then I think we should do a video around that one day. Maybe just around just the whole, not even just that, but the concept of building our 10K portfolios.
Yeah. Building 10K portfolio.
You build like how you build yours and how I build mine, and then why, right? And then people are able to see where they can invest. Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Close us out. Wrap us up. I don't know if you got anything else to say.
I don't got anything else to say unless you do.
Man, Full Circle Wealth, man.
Yeah, bro.
Get in with us, man.
Yeah, get in with us, bro. We'll be coming out with some VIP section. We're working on what we're coming up with for the VIP section, so we can have the more exclusive part of the membership of the community is what I mean. So stay tuned for that, right? Follow us on Instagram at Full Circle Wealth _ That's really about it, man.
Let me ask you guys a question real quick. You had $10,000 right now that you are willing to invest. Where would it go?
That's the question. That is the question for today.
Where would you put it? Shout out Full Circle, man. We're coming to you every week, man. You know what I'm saying? We got gems to be dropped. Make sure you guys get your bags, man. Be ready to catch it, man, because we dropping it off.
Yes, sir.
Full Circle out. Hold on. We can't end it like that. There it is. Boy.